everybody, I am Liz, and today I am going to do a Tome appreciation because it is the first day of Tome Topple, which is a pretty awesome, motivation to read thick books readathon that is hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes and a slew of other awesome booktubers. I'll link all that information down below if you'd like to participate in Tome Topple. I am not really participating in Tome Topple because I have other things to do with school, but I'm actually reading 2 tomes currently that are unrelated to Tome Topple. I just haven't finished them. And so I'm going to talk about tomes that I really want to read that I haven't gotten to, but first I'll start with the ones I'm currently reading because I get to check those off of the tome list that I want to read. First is Obsidium by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff. This is the 3rd and final book in the Illuminated files, and I'm not very far into it. Last I talked about it, I was 20 pages, and I'm at 48 pages. So I haven't made a whole lot of progress on that book yet. And then next is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Last I talked about, I was probably about 100 pages in, and now I am on 188. So now we're going to get into the books I haven't read at all, and I want to read them. First is Wool by Hugh Howey. This is a dystopian novel where the population are living underground, and they are living underground because the world outside, the air is toxic and can lead to death. And in this society, every birth leads to a death because they need to keep the population at a specific setting in order for people to eat and live and have all the resources they need. Next, we have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic. It follows Kel and Lila Bard and their antics as they figure out stuff that happened, I'm guessing previously to the conclusion of A Darker Shade of Magic. I know that it took me a really, really long time to read A Darker Shade of Magic, and so I'm kind of waiting to bust this one open until I have a moment where I can sit down and just absorb its pages, because I don't want to take months to read this book like I did its predecessor. Next, I have Illuminated by Amy Agresti. I got this book several years ago when my library was selling a bunch of books, and it is about a girl named Haven who has to move into a hotel due to, I think, her parents' living and job situation, and she discovers that some of the tenants in these hotels are supernatural and have a lot of ulterior motives, and she is going to figure all that stuff out. The next book I have for you is Children of Blood and Bone by Tome. Everybody has been raving about this story since it came out, and I really need to get on this book, guys. And it is such a hard feat because there's so much hype behind it. It's been linked to Harry Potter meets Africa. There's this awesome magic system, and Tome Adeyemi has recently been compared to J.K. Rowling. And so obviously this book has so much hype around it, and I really want to read it so much, but it's daunting. Next we have The Help, which is by Catherine Stockett. I watched the movie way back several years ago when it came out. The lead actress is Emma Stone, and I absolutely love her as an actress. And I just really want to read the book, get the feel for all the characters and their nuances, because I know the book is going to flesh it out so much more, as it's a thick 700-page book. So I'm sure the movie missed out a lot, probably changed a lot, and I really want to get the feel of this story as it is. The next book I have is A Little Life by Hannah Yanagihari. This book has enthralled me since I heard people talking about it back when it was super big a couple years ago. It's a story about these 4 people interwoven. There's childhood trauma and friendships and family, and I just I want to read it, and it sounds so good. It's just such a thick book, over 800 pages, so it sounds super daunting, but it also sounds really good, and I've heard so many great things about it that I need to pick it up. Lastly, I just want to bring recognition to the book, the longest book I own, and the one that I attempted to read 2 years ago and did not get as far as I would have hoped, because it's been sitting on my shelf untouched for about 1.5 years, and I really want to pick it up again and just finish it. And that is Les Mis by Victor Hugo. I had a goal of reading this book to completion, and then I lost all motivation to return to the story after my life hit a bout of hectic craziness with school. And so I am just over 1/3 of the way through the book, and again, I haven't picked it up yet. I think I hit a pretty good spot last I remember, which was right when Jean Valjean rescues Cosette. So I'm about right there, which is where they hit the church to live in. So I think I hit a really good stopping point so I can pick it up and then just continue on and read about the revolution and Cosette meeting her love interest, which I forget his name, and all of that. So those are some of my thick books that I haven't read yet that I really, really want to. Please let me know in the comments down below if these books are also on your list. If you've read them, please let me know what you think about them. And if you have other really thick books that you really want to read, that you really want motivation to crack open, because I struggle with that all the time, please let me know in those comments down below. Let's start up a conversation. And until next time, I love you guys. Bye!